There's a 7-stage subscription trap that has locked $18 billion in unwanted subscriptions. Right now, Uber is facing a lawsuit from 21 states for forcing users through 23 screens and 32 separate actions just to cancel. Amazon just paid $2.5 billion for the same tactics, and you're probably trapped in stage 3 without even knowing it. Welcome to patent wars, where billion-dollar lawsuits, corporate strategy, and legal warfare collide. And nothing is ever as simple as it looks. Let me show you exactly how the trap works. December 2025. The FTC files an amended complaint against Uber. 21 states join. The court documents describe something remarkable. Not illegal hidden fees, not data breaches. They describe a maze, 23 screens, 32 separate actions, just to cancel a $9.99 monthly subscription. And here's what you need to understand. This isn't about Uber. This is about a 7-stage playbook that every subscription company uses. Uber's mistake wasn't using the playbook. Their mistake was leaving evidence. This isn't conspiracy. This is documented in federal court. This is mathematics. And right now, you're already inside the system. Before we go through the 7 stages, you need to understand what makes this trap work. It's not technology, it's psychology. Companies call these design patterns. The FTC calls them dark patterns. Either way, they all exploit the same human behavior. You want the product, you don't want to think about canceling. But to understand why this became an $18 billion industry, we need to follow the money. Because in September 2025, Amazon settled the biggest subscription case in FTC history. And the court documents revealed exactly how the trap was designed. Stage 1, the free trial bait. This is how they get you in. Uber. One offers 30 days free, no charges. Cancel anytime. The promise is everywhere. But here's what the FTC discovered. The enrollment flow doesn't just offer you a trial, it makes declining harder than accepting. Amazon was sued for the exact same design. They created something called the Universal Prime Decision page. The button to accept Prime was large, blue, and said, "Get free shipping." The button to decline was small, grayed out, and said, "No, I don't want free shipping." Same choice, but watch the language. One button gives you something, the other takes something away. I've linked the full FTC settlement in the description. Stage 2, auto-enrollment. The trial ends, you're automatically subscribed. Now here's where the math starts working against you. The FTC documented thousands of complaints. Uber charged users before the trial ended. Amazon charged users who never clicked accept. The FTC's lawsuit against Uber describes it precisely. Quote, "Many consumers who signed up for a free trial offer were automatically enrolled and charged for the subscription before the trial ended." End quote. Notice what happened. Stage 1 got you to start a trial. Stage 2 converted that trial into paid subscription without confirmation. 2 stages, each one subtle. Together they're worth billions. Amazon's settlement revealed 35 million customers were affected. 35 million. At $14.99 per month, you can do the math. Stage 3, hidden billing. You're being charged, but you don't notice. This is where you are right now. Most people discover subscription charges 3 to 6 months after enrollment. The bill comes, it's small enough to miss. $9.99 here, $14.99 there. Your bank statement shows dozens of recurring charges. The FTC found something remarkable in Uber's case. Users complained they were charged for Uber One despite never knowingly signing up. Read that again. They were charged for a subscription they didn't remember starting. Same pattern, different year. Uber's executives knew this was happening. Internal documents use phrases like "subscription driving is a bit of a shady world." Amazon executives called unwanted enrollment an unspoken cancer. That's not my language, that's theirs. Meanwhile, you're checking your bank statement months later, wondering why there's a charge you don't recognize. Same playbook, different company. Stage 4, the search. You finally decide to cancel. You open the app. You look for the cancel button. It's not there. You check settings, account, billing, membership, profile, help, support. You tap through 8 different menus. No cancel button. Here's where the pattern becomes clear. Uber makes you search. Amazon makes you search. Netflix makes you search. Every streaming service, every delivery app, every gym membership uses the same design. And there's a reason. The FTC's complaint against Uber states the goal was preventing consumers from canceling Prime. Amazon's settlement says the same thing. The complexity isn't accidental. It's the design. Right now, millions of people are stuck in stage 4. Searching, clicking, getting frustrated, eventually giving up. And that's exactly what stage 5 is designed to do. Stage 5, the 23-screen maze, you found the cancel option. Now the real test begins. The FTC lawsuit describes Uber's cancellation process in detail. Quote, users can be forced to navigate as many as 23 screens and take as many as 32 actions to cancel. End quote. 23 screens. Count that. Each screen has a purpose. Each action is a test. First, you confirm you want to cancel. Then you're asked why. Then you're offered a pause instead. Then you're offered a discount. Then you're told about benefits you'll lose. Then you're asked if you're sure. Then you're offered a final discount. Then you're sent to another confirmation screen. And if you persist through all 23 screens, stage 6 begins. But here's the critical part. This isn't Uber's innovation. Amazon Prime 2023 lawsuit revealed complex and difficult cancellation process. 2025 settlement, $2.5 billion, LA Fitness. August 2025 lawsuit describes complicated, burdensome cancellation processes. Still pending. International Markets Live. August 2025 settlement for $36 million. Same pattern. The pattern across 5 years is identical. Free trial, auto-enrollment, hidden billing, complex cancellation. Every time, every company, every industry. Same pattern, different logo. Here's what nobody explains. Why does every company use the same trap? Because it works. Let me show you the mathematics. Amazon has 200 million Prime subscribers. At $14.99 per month, that's $3 billion per month in subscription revenue, every month. Now add the retention rate. If complexity prevents just 10% of users from canceling, that's 20 million people who stay subscribed when they wanted to leave. At $14.99 per month, that's $300 million per month in revenue from people who tried to cancel. The FTC calculated Amazon's unwanted enrollment affected 35 million customers over 6 years. The settlement required $1.5 billion in refunds. That's the minimum they collected from people who didn't want the service. The trick is simple. Make signing up easier than canceling. The harder cancellation becomes, the more people give up. The more people give up, the more revenue you keep. This is not a bug. This is the design. October 2024. The FTC creates the click to cancel rule. The rule is simple. Make canceling as easy as signing up. Same medium, same number of steps. May 2025. The rule is scheduled to take effect. Businesses prepared to comply. July 2025. The 8th Circuit Court of Appeals vacates the rule. The FTC failed to follow required procedural steps. The rule is struck down before it ever takes effect. August 2025. The FTC sues LA Fitness. September 2025. Amazon settles for $2.5 billion. December 2025. The FTC amends the complaint against Uber. 21 states join. The rule is gone, but the lawsuits continue. Because even without the click-to-cancel rule, these practices still violate the FTC Act. They still violate the Restore Online Shoppers Confidence Act. And companies keep using them anyway. Stage 6. Retention offers. You made it through 23 screens. One more barrier. The FTC complaint describes it precisely. Quote, if a customer tries to proceed with cancellation, Uber can require them to say why they want to cancel, urge them to pause their membership, or, if that failed, present them offers to stay. End quote. 3 months free. 50% off for 6 months. Skip 1 month. Keep your benefits. Every offer delays cancellation. Every delay increases the chance you'll give up. And here's the evidence that should terrify you. The full court documents are linked in the description. The process usually ended in a loop. A loop. Customers would click cancel, go through the screens, and end up back where they started, without canceling. That's not a software bug. That's intentional design. Uber's subscription team tracks these numbers. They measure how many users give up at each stage. They optimize the loop. Meanwhile, you're clicking the same buttons for the third time, wondering if you're doing something wrong. You're not. The system is designed to exhaust you. Let's talk about why this business model is so valuable. Not just to Uber or Amazon, to everyone. The FTC documented 35 million Amazon users affected by unwanted enrollment. Over 6 years, 35 million people who either didn't know they were subscribed or couldn't cancel. At $14.99 per month for Prime, if even half of those users stayed subscribed for 1 extra year while trying to cancel, that's $3.1 billion in additional revenue. $3 billion from complexity. Uber One costs $9.99 per month. If Uber retains just 5 million users through cancellation complexity for 6 extra months, that's $300 million from a maze of 23 screens. The average person has 4.5 active subscriptions. If one of those is unwanted and you're paying $9.99 per month, that's $120 per year. Multiply that by 180 million US consumers, and you get $21.6 billion per year in unwanted subscription revenue. The FTC settlement with Amazon recovered $1.5 billion. That's 7% of 1 year of total unwanted subscriptions across all industries. This is the wealth concentration mechanism. Money flows from millions of consumers to a few companies, $10 at a time, locked behind 23 screens. So what happens when companies get caught? Amazon, $2.5 billion settlement, $1 billion in penalties, $1.5 billion in customer refunds. The second largest restitution in FTC history. But Amazon didn't admit wrongdoing. The settlement included language. Amazon neither admits nor denies the allegations. They paid $2.5 billion and admitted nothing. Uber's case is still pending. December 2025, 21 states joined. The FTC is seeking civil penalties and refunds. But Uber's defense is identical to Amazon's. Quote from Uber, "Our sign-up and cancellation process is clear, simple, and lawful." Clear, simple, lawful. That's the statement from the company whose cancellation process requires 23 screens. And you cannot escape it because the system is global. Uber operates in 70 countries. Amazon operates in 20. Netflix operates in 190. The trap doesn't stop at borders. Stage 7, contact support. The final barrier. You've clicked through 23 screens. You've declined every offer, and now you see it. To complete cancellation, please contact customer support. What makes this dangerous today is that many users never make it this far. The FTC complaint documents what happens next. Right now, if you try to cancel Uber One within 48 hours of your billing date, you're required to contact customer support. There's no direct cancellation. You must wait for a representative. The FTC documented wait times. Quote, "Consumers often report waiting hours or up to a full day to receive a response from Uber, and that they were already billed for the next payment in the interim." End quote. You request cancellation. You wait 24 hours, you get billed again. Same month. Amazon used the same tactic. Users who attempted to cancel were told to contact support. Many never received responses. They were charged for additional months while waiting. Companies track what they call save rates. That's the percentage of users who start cancellation but never complete it. Uber's internal metrics measure stage 4, 5, 6, and 7 success rates. They know exactly how many people give up at each stage. Meanwhile, you're on hold. You're being told your call is important. You're listening to the same 30-second music loop for the 8th time, and your billing date passed while you were waiting. Same system, different industries, same result. Right now, this exact pattern is being used by Uber One, Uber Eats Pass, DoorDash Dash Pass, Instacart Plus, Grubhub Plus, every food delivery subscription, Amazon Prime, Kindle Unlimited, Amazon Music, Audible, every Amazon service, Netflix, Hulu, Disney Plus, Max, Paramount Plus, every streaming platform, Planet Fitness, LA Fitness, 24-Hour Fitness, Crunch, every gym chain, the New York Times, the Wall Street Journal, every digital newspaper. The 7-stage pattern is everywhere, and it's legal until it isn't. Amazon settlement didn't ban dark patterns. It required Amazon to make changes. Provide clear decline buttons. Disclose auto-renewal terms. Allow easy cancellation through the same medium used to subscribe. But here's what should keep you awake at night. Amazon agreed to those changes. And 90% of companies use Amazon's old design. Right now, today, the FTC sued one company, settled with one company. There are thousands of companies using the same playbook, and the FTC doesn't have resources to sue them all. Let me show you why companies fight so hard to keep this system. Customer acquisition cost for Uber One, $35 per subscriber. That's marketing, discounts, trial offers. Average subscription length, 18 months. At $99.99 per month, that's $180 in revenue. Minus 35 acquisition costs equals 145 profit per subscriber. But if complex cancellation retains users for just 3 extra months, that's an additional $30 per subscriber. Across 10 million Uber One subscribers, that's $300 million in additional profit, just from complexity. Amazon Prime has 200 million subscribers. Same math. 3 extra months of retention equals $9 billion in additional revenue, just from making cancellation difficult. That's why Amazon paid $2.5 billion to settle. That's why Uber is fighting 21 states. That's why LA Fitness is in court right now. That's why the pattern continues. The penalties are billions, the profits are tens of billions, and you're paying for both. So what should you take from this? First, understand that complexity is intentional. When you can't find the cancel button, that's not bad design. That's the design. These systems are optimized to exhaust you. Second, document everything. If you start a cancellation process, take screenshots of every screen. If you contact support, save the timestamps. If you're charged after requesting cancellation, dispute it with your bank. Your evidence matters. Third, check your subscriptions today, not tomorrow. Today. Open your credit card statement. Look for recurring charges. You probably have 3 to 5 subscriptions you forgot about. Cancel them now. Before you finish this video, all sources are linked in the description, including the court ruling that struck down the click to cancel rule. Here's the uncomfortable truth. Subscriptions are not products. Subscriptions are relationships. And in every relationship, there's a power dynamic. When signing up takes 1 click and canceling takes 32 actions, the power dynamic is clear. You can get in easily. You can't get out. The FTC calls it a subscription trap. Amazon called it an unspoken cancer. Uber called it a shady world. But whatever you call it, the principle is ancient. Make entry easy. Make exit impossible. This pattern has existed for centuries. Contracts that are simple to start and complex to end. Terms that are clear until you try to enforce them. Systems designed to extract more than they deliver. Right now, we're at stage 7 of a much larger pattern. Companies learned that locking customers in is more profitable than competing for their loyalty. And regulators are responding. But slowly. The click-to-cancel rule was vacated. Amazon settled. Uber is fighting. And millions of people are still clicking through 23 screens, wondering why canceling is so hard. If this showed you why you can't cancel your subscriptions, if you finally understand that the 23 screens aren't a mistake but the mechanism, then you're starting to see how power actually works. Subscribe, because the next video will show you the $36 billion question nobody's asking. If Amazon paid $2.5 billion and Uber is being sued by 21 states, why are streaming services using the exact same playbook? Who's next? And what happens when the FTC runs out of resources? The answers aren't hiding in the future. They're written in the past. Patent Wars has the answers. I'll show you where to look.